Okay, first off, I want to start by saying thank you to everyone that has followed my channel for the last year. I can't name all of you guys, but you know who you are. If I've interacted with you over the past year, thank you so much. So last night, Kamala Harris lost her bid to be the first female president of the United States of America. But more importantly, the person that we chose to elect was a person that has failed over and over to show that he has the character that would qualify him to be the president of the United States of America. Look, if you've been following this channel, you know that I'm not like a lot of other political commentators out there. I talk a lot of shit. I say a lot of bad words. I'm not your everyday political commentator. I don't believe that people should be in parties. I believe that people should have values that are represented by the things that they say and they do. And though I don't always use the best language, which is probably going to get me put in a gulag, I do think that it's very important to speak honestly to you guys. I do a lot of things that are different than the Brian Tyler Cohens of the world, the David Pakmans of the world. And I love them and I appreciate them for the things that they do. But I think that I need to tell you guys the things that you need to hear, not the things that you want to hear. Last night, Kamala Harris lost due to a lot of different factors. Not least among them is the American educational system's failure to teach people media literacy. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and countless far-right content creators use their platforms to spread misinformation, and the American populace ate it up. Donald Trump has brought the collective IQ of this great nation to an astoundingly low level. Donald Trump has convinced people that the only things that they should believe are the things he spoon-feeds them or the people he has approved to do it for him. And with the rise of AI and Elon Musk as one of the main purveyors of its use, knowing what is real and what is fake is going to be just that much more difficult. But there were other factors that were important in last night's election. A certain portion of the left chose last night to virtue signal rather than stand up for women's rights. They chose to make a point about the importance of rights for people halfway across the world while they completely ignored those that live down the street. While I believe that all people have inherent rights to live a life that allows them to pursue happiness as long as it does not harm others, I believe first and foremost in taking care of those that I can first, and then doing everything in my power to make a positive difference in the lives of others. Because two wrongs do not make a right. And for those that disagree with me on this on the left, congratulations. You helped elect a person that will not only accelerate the pain and suffering of those people, but also many others, including women, immigrants, people in Ukraine, and people of the LGBT community. With that being said, I will be changing the name of this channel once again, as I don't think it's fairly representing the content within. My progressive values are my most important values, but I feel like I also possess values or goals that do not coincide with the people that label themselves as progressives. I will most likely change the name back to Angry Ginger Productions or something that helps to encapsulate the feeling of being exhausted with our current political atmosphere. If you have any suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comments section. America lost a little bit of its soul last night, a soul that was marked already by the many stains of its creation, whether it was the decimation of its native population, the enslavement of African Americans, the mistreatment of the working class, or the suppression of women's rights. We had made so many positive strides towards cleansing the stains on America's soul, and many of them have now stubbornly come back. But America, in my opinion, is a resilient country, a country of men and women that I still believe want to do the right thing. I believe that many people in this country have been misled and misinformed by people that are only interested in gaining money and status to continue to increase their control over a stressed out, exhausted, overstimulated, and undereducated populace. Look, I have dealt with adversity my entire life. I grew up poor, abused by parents that were themselves victims of abuse. I grew up with people that were taken advantage of by the system that in turn abused and took advantage of others. I have been knocked down more times than I can count, but I have always got back up. And I have never stopped trying to educate myself to the flaws that have caused me to falter. Because failing is not only an option, it is an important part of my narrative. The conservative right, as we know it, is dead. They have devolved into what we know as the MAGA cult. They showed last night that hate, anger, and vitriol is a potent substance for people that have been misinformed and disenfranchised. If the political left wants to ever have a chance again, they have to evolve. They can't wallow in self-pity or scream uselessly into the void. Instead, they must remember their history and embrace the party that fought for civil rights, the party that stood firmly for people regardless of ethnicity, sexuality, or gender. They must create an identity that is everything that the MAGA cult is not. As for me, I'm sure I will continue to find that though the majority of my values lean to the left, I will forever be at odds with anyone and everyone, regardless of political ideology, that refuse to apply logic and critical thinking to today's issues. It is undeniable that reality and facts are objective. I believe the middle class is the engine of America and it bears an unfair burden. I believe that the ultra-wealthy corporations should be made to pay their fair share. I believe immigrants are the lifeblood of America, and I believe that all people deserve the right to the pursuit of happiness. I believe that every person deserves the right to be treated equally, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, or sexuality. And I believe it's time to make a change, because I'm not going back. So for anyone out there that is sad, depressed, or stressed out that Kamala lost, don't think of this so much as a goodbye. Instead, think of this as a reintroduction or a rebirth, because from the ashes, we will rise.
All power to the people.